Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington, an original shark from the hit TV show Shark Tank. Welcome to this edition of Business Icons. And I have a very special guest today, Chad Disbennett. Chad, welcome.
Great to be here, Kevin.
Fantastic. Now, you're a nationally recognized author and speaker, as well as a certified financial planner, right?
Yeah.
And so, having all of those duties on a day-to-day basis, I'm just wondering, who is it that you like to work with? What kind of clients do you work with?
Well, I'll tell you what, we typically work with successful business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals, and we work with a lot of women that are on their own.
Oh, okay. So now you help them organize their financial planning. Is this about retirement, or what kind of things do you help them plan?
You know, it's kind of funny. I think people come in, they're looking for they have two major questions. Number one, am I going to run out of money during retirement?
Right.
And number two, am I making the best decisions that I can to have a better future? And I think ultimately they want three things: peace, freedom, and impact, so that they can finish strong. And the answer to the question, do we have enough, is a big question for folks. And there are ways to know whether they do, because quite frankly, they don't want to give up their lifestyle during retirement. They want to do more things in retirement.
Yeah.
And when they know that they can do that, they have peace. And they also have freedom to know that they're going to be okay.
Right.
It enables them to also make an impact, not only on the people they care about, but the community, the causes, the institutions that they care deeply about. And I think when you have peace, freedom, and impact, it enables you to finish strong. And quite frankly, that's what we do for our clients. We help them finish strong.
I love that, finish strong. So, but when I think of the term certified financial planner, which is what you are, you don't just wait until a few years before you retire. You're giving people a plan early on, because maybe in the beginning it's just making sure that they are not spending in the wrong area. So what kinds of things do you put people through in terms of your advice as you plan for their future?
That's a great question. We created a process called the Wealth with Clarity process.
Okay, Wealth with Clarity. I love
I've always,
that.
you know this better than anyone. Quite frankly, if you can't describe what you do as a process, you don't know what you're doing.
I call it a perfect pitch, right?
The perfect pitch is right. So one of the things that we think about is, how do we help people get to where they want to go? And a lot of times people are looking for that magic product, that magic pill.
Right.
And quite frankly, there's no magic pills in this industry.
Right.
No matter what you choose, there's a side effect. So the question is, can I live with the side effects?
Okay.
And quite frankly, we try to help people see what the side effects are of the choices that they make, and we actually walk them through the Wealth with Clarity process to get them to where they can have an abundant retirement.
Right. Yeah, that's nice. Now, you've been doing this for a couple of years. How long, and how did you get into this business?
You know, a lot of times people will ask you what you do. It's very rare that they ask you why you do what you do. Mm-hmm. So I started my career in the school system because, as you know, being a teacher and a coach, that's where all the money's at.
Yeah, not okay.
But I spent
so you're
nearly
a jokester also. I can tell.
Well, I spent nearly a decade in the school system, and
my mother was a teacher. My two sisters were teachers, so I know that was not a big income level, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I had a passion to want to help and coach people, and today I'm still teaching. It's just to a different age demographic.
I got it. Right.
So I really founded my company on two main principles. Number one, nobody's going to take advantage of the people that I work with. And number two, to be the best possible coach that I could be. And I really came to have those principles or values in a very unique way. So when I was 2 years old, I was kidnapped by my biological mother and the man that she was with. And my dad actually hired a guy that was literally featured on 60 Minutes for finding lost children.
Wow.
And whereas it normally took him a couple weeks to find missing children, it took him nearly a year to find me.
Wow.
And when my father got me back, he was very adamant that you don't take advantage of people. And I didn't really realize why that was such a big thing growing up, but I learned later that the man that my biological mother was with was literally taking advantage of people and misusing their money.
Wow.
So that was something that was, I know we've talked
off. Personal story, right?
I know we've talked off camera. There have been times in your life where you've been taken advantage of, and I think we all have. But for me, one of the biggest things for me was when my father got me back, he put me in school right away. And because of that, I was about a year younger than everyone in my class.
Okay.
And due to that, I experienced a lot of bullying. And it was learning how to stand up to the bullies in my life, and it was through athletics that I was able to stand up to the bullies in my life and overcome that. But it really became a passion for me to make sure that those around me didn't get bullied.
Right.
And then the second principle was to be the best coach that I could be. And I was very blessed to have some really good coaches in my life.
Yeah.
And as a senior in high school, I'm the starting quarterback on the football team. I was pretty fortunate.
That's pretty
I was
amazing.
Starting safety as a kickoff and punt returner, and my football coach comes to me and says, "Chad, I think you should run cross country." And he was implying that I not play football. And I was like, "What are you talking? I'm devastated. What are you talking about?" I thought, "Don't you want me?" And he said, "Chad, it's not that I don't want you. Quite frankly, last year was your first year running track, and you broke all of our distance records at the high school. And I think you've got a great opportunity to get a Division I scholarship.
Wow.
But I don't think you'll get that playing football." And I thought, now here's a guy that's telling me to do what's in the exact opposite of his best interest.
Wow.
And I was smart. I listened. I was fortunate enough to be able to do both.
Yeah.
Which led to a Division I scholarship at the University of Cincinnati, your
University of
hometown.
Cincinnati, my college too.
That's
my
right.
alma mater. Yeah.
Your alma mater.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it instilled yet another life lesson to help people, or to help them see. In order to be the best coach I can be, I have to help them to see a future maybe that they can't even see for themselves.
Yeah.
So as I work with pre-retirees and retirees, I really come at it with two passions. Number one, nobody's going to take advantage of the people I work with.
Great.
And really, there are a lot of financial bullies out there today. Some of the big institutions that use misinformation and scare tactics to get people to do what they shouldn't be doing.
Right.
And number two are the big financial bullies that are the financial salespeople that are trying to jam their square product into every round hole that they see.
Right.
And number two, being the best coach that I can be and helping my clients to finish strong.
That's amazing. All these personal stories that have morphed you into the man that you are and the business that you have it's an amazing transformation. Speaking with you here today, and I think this gives you the ability to help everyone out there with their challenges, right? And as you mentioned, there's all these financial bullies. I get pitched probably every week on some kind of financial product, right? So as a shark, right? It's there's somebody out there trying to give me some kind of a pitch for some kind of a financial deal, but you have to help your clients. You're really, I think, probably the best way to describe yourself as a coach to people's future and their retirement as a financial planner, right? So what you mentioned financial bullying, so that's a big challenge that consumers are facing today. What are some of the other challenges that they face?
Well, we've identified 12 significant issues or obstacles. I call them potholes.
Okay.
For retirees or pre-retirees. Now, obviously, I list them all in the book, but we don't have time to go through them all today.
Yeah.
But I often think of potholes in two categories. So there's the potholes that you see, and they rarely do any damage to your car. It's the pothole that you don't see that does all the damage, right?
Boom.
One of the biggest potholes that is out there is Uncle Sam.
Okay.
And quite frankly, Kevin, he is not your uncle.
Right. No.
It's the three-letter word, right? No matter how you spell IRS or TAX.
TAX, right.
Uncle Sam is a big concern.
Yeah.
And I know you've written some books. I've got a book. One of the things I think about is the IRS tax code is over 72,000 pages long. Inside of that code, there are a lot of potholes and obstacles.
Gotcha.
But there's also a buffet of opportunities there, right?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So quite frankly, it's knowing how to use taxes to help your clients. And one of the things that we focus on is if I can save my client $10,000 in taxes, isn't that the same as making $10,000 in the market?
Absolutely, yeah. That's
So
great.
one of the things we look at is taxes, whether you are affected by them today or not, they're going to be an ongoing concern as we move forward, right? So that's probably the first and one of the biggest obstacles.
Right, yeah. So as a certified financial planner, you have to take the holistic approach of somebody's future, and you're dealing with folks all along the way, as well as the pre-retirement and then retirement days. So for folks that are out there listening right now, the amazing story that we've heard in your own transformation is remarkable, and I recommend that people try to track you down. So there's probably a few questions that folks might have. You mentioned some kind of a report or something that you've got that
one of the things that we think is most important thing to do is to take action.
Right.
So I often will tell people you need to find a specialist.
Yep.
That's somebody who deals with people just like you. And there's two things that I don't trust Walmart with: my health and my wealth. Right?
Exactly.
So one of the things that we think about is, people have been lied to in our industry. They've been told that because they've been able to accumulate wealth, that they should be just as good at preserving, protecting, and passing it on. So, you remember Michael Jordan, I think one of the greatest basketball players to ever play.
Sure, yeah.
Do you remember when he tried to do two sports?
Yeah, he tried to be a baseball player too, right?
How'd that work out for him?
Didn't do so well, did
Yeah,
he?
he went back to what he was good at, right?
Right.
So one of the things that we have to deal with, which is actually another obstacle, is we have to understand that there are some things that we should delegate. You call it your dream team. You surround yourself with a dream team.
Sure, yeah.
So we advocate that people find a specialist that can help them through these things, because having the skills to accumulate wealth isn't the same as having the skills to preserve, protect, and pass it on.
I love that. That's a great way to say it. So they've spent their entire life making money and preserving their wealth, but now they need a dream team member, a coach, a consultant, a certified financial planner to help them preserve that for the long haul, right?
Really, that's what we do, and we've actually got some resources to help people do that.
And people are living longer, so they need those resources, right?
Right.
Where do we send them? Anyone watching right now, is there a website or something we could get them some information on?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually created a website called wealthwithclarity.com.
Wealthwithclarity.com, right?
Yeah, and there's we actually outlined 6 of the 12 significant issues. We put it in a special report that's free for people to download and or to get.
Right.
And then from there, we actually help them. Quite frankly, the first step is always the hardest, right?
Okay.
The step of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, right?
Exactly, right.
Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that we advocate is you need to take action. So we want to help people do that. So we would lead them to our website, wealthwithclarity.com.
Yes.
They can download a special report and get 6 of the 12 huge potholes or obstacles that we've identified in our book.
It's amazing. Fantastic. So I'm going to say, if you're out there right now, no obligation, check out wealthwithclarity.com, and you're going to see Chad Disbennett's 6 steps. Eventually, they could probably get all 12, I would imagine, right?
Absolutely.
Chad, this has been an amazing discussion, and thanks. Great hearing about all the transformation you've had, and the transformation I think you can make in people's lives as they choose to move forward into that retirement age. So wealthwithclarity.com. Thanks for being with us on this edition of Business Icons.